Throughout history, the White House has been referred to as the President's Palace, the Executive Mansion, and the President's House, among other terms. Since its construction more than 220 years ago, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has remained one of the most exclusive and extraordinary buildings in the world. Here are a few facts about the White House that will surprise you. Number 1. It's bigger than you think. Although it's relatively modest in terms of today's sprawling mansions, the White House was the country's biggest house until after the American Civil War. It has 132 rooms and 35 bathrooms on 6 levels, as well as 412 doors, 147 windows, 28 fireplaces, 8 staircases, and 3 elevators. It is 168 feet long by 85 feet wide, without porticos, 70 feet tall on the south side, and 60 feet 4 inches tall on the north side. The building and grounds are sprawled across 18 acres. Number 2. George Washington never lived there. In 1791, our founding father and first U.S. president chose the site where the White House would be built and also approved its final design. On October 13, 1792, the cornerstone was laid and a group of Freemasons began construction. President Washington, whose term ended in 1797 and who died in 1799, never had the opportunity to live in the presidential palace. President John Adams and his wife Abigail moved into the unfinished house in 1800, becoming the nation's first couple to live there. Number 3. It was torched by British soldiers. During the War of 1812, British soldiers invaded the White House in 1814, setting it aflame in retaliation for U.S. soldiers who were torching buildings in York, Ontario. The fire completely destroyed the interior and roof of the building. President James Madison called for immediate reconstruction, summoning the return of the original designer, James Hoban. Madison and his wife were never able to return to the White House, but reconstruction was completed in time for newly elected President James Monroe to move there in 1817. Number 4. It didn't have an official name until 1901. Although it's been the official residence of all U.S. presidents since 1800, the building was informally deemed the White House until President Theodore Roosevelt used it on his stationery in 1901. Prior to that, it was referred to as the President's House or the President's Mansion. Some theorists say that the name originated after the fire of 1814, when the smoke-stained walls were painted over with white paint, although historians state that this myth is largely unfounded. Number 5. It's rumored to be haunted. A myriad of presidents, first ladies, staffers, and guests have reportedly seen ghosts lurking in the rooms of the historic building. The ghost of Abigail Adams has been seen heading toward the East Room, where she used to hang her laundry, and First Lady Mary Todd Lincoln had told friends that she had heard an angry and defeated Andrew Jackson stomping and swearing throughout the building's many halls. Of course, the most notable ghost comes in the form of President Abraham Lincoln. Sightings have been reported by the First Ladies of the Coolidge, Johnson, and Roosevelt presidencies, and even British Prime Minister Winston Churchill reported seeing Lincoln's ghost while staying at the White House during World War II. Number 6. It's quite the task to repaint. Part of the routine upkeep at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is making sure the White House stays true to its name. That means repainting every now and then to maintain its bright, white exterior. And that's a task that requires a whole lot of paint. At 55,000 square feet, it takes 570 gallons of paint to cover the entire surface. Naturally, painting isn't the only maintenance required at the White House. In fact, between $750,000 and $1.6 million is spent on maintenance each year. Number 7. More than 3,000 people work there full-time. When a past president leaves the White House, he typically takes his staffers with him, leaving the president-elect to fill the void. With approximately 3,300 full-time positions to fill, that's no easy task, and that's not even counting the folks who work for the White House part-time or who are employed by the executive branch but have their offices off-site. The White House office alone employs more than 500 people, the office of the vice president, nearly 100, the military office, around 1,300, and the office of management and budget, about 500 people. There are also more than 500 Secret Service agents and nearly 200 staffers on the president and vice president's protective detail. If you've worked in the White House long enough, you'd be able to recognize the before and after photos of how presidents have aged in office. Number 8. The original cornerstone has disappeared. One of the most notable mysteries surrounding the White House is the disappearance of its original cornerstone. A mere 24 hours after it was laid in 1792, the cornerstone, along with its inscribed brass plate, disappeared. No one has seen it since. The Freemasons, who constructed the building, denied taking it, and numerous presidents, including Roosevelt and Truman, have tried to locate it, to no avail. One theory is that the cornerstone is hidden between two stone walls in the Rose Garden, but it has never been found. Number 9. The White House didn't have electricity for nearly a century. The White House was entirely lit by gas lights until 1891, when electricity was first installed. And as electric lighting was still a fairly new concept, the leader at that time, President Benjamin Harrison, was skeptical of the dangers and worried he would be shocked if he touched a light switch. His solution? He never once touched one himself. Number 10. It can be a sad, lonely place. When Michelle Obama's biography was recently published, readers were shocked to learn about the lonely, confining rules of living in the White House. In one detail, she revealed how she was never allowed to open a window in her own home. Residents are constantly monitored and not allowed to go anywhere alone, which can feel quite straining. President Truman called it a great white jail and a glamorous prison. Julie Nixon complained of a lack of privacy due to the press and the guards. Number 11. There's a secret entrance. Like all high-profile buildings, the White House has a secret entrance for the president and secret visitors. It opens onto H Street in Washington, D.C., and passes through two tunnels in an alleyway before arriving at the White House basement. This secret entrance was designed in part as a response to World War II, as was an underground bomb shelter that was built beneath the White House. Number 12. Those services the president enjoys aren't free. While you might assume that being the commander-in-chief means that everything at the White House is free, you'd be wrong. In fact, presidents and their families pay for meals, dry cleaning, hair, and makeup, and staffer for parties. Number 13. It nearly fell apart in 1948. Because of the Great Depression, Roosevelt had very little budget for annual repairs to the White House, and as a result, the building was literally collapsing. Nobody had realized how structurally unsound the old building was until engineers working on President Truman's balcony in 1948 found that not only were the floorboards cracking and swaying beneath people's feet, the building's weakened wooden beams were at risk of giving way at any moment. Number 14. There's a secret command center below the West Wing, or is there? In 2010, construction workers started digging a giant hole in the ground in front of the West Wing, and it was a project that was literally shrouded in secrecy by a tall green construction fence. 2 years later, the fencing came down, the surface repaved, and it looked like nothing had changed, or had it? The official word is that work was being done to replace the West Wing's aging utilities, but the numerous truckloads of heavy-duty concrete and beams raised suspicion among conspiracy theorists and curious citizens alike. Was a secret underground command center, one that had first been proposed more than 50 years ago, finally been established? Do you think you could decode these clever code names the Secret Service used for past presidents? Number 15. Don't expect to find any White House job postings online. The book The Residence by Kate Anderson Brower, which was published in 2015, takes a look at the lives of the White House service staff and reveals the hidden world of what they call, simply, the House. One of the particularities revealed in this book is that open staff positions are never advertised. All employees are found via word of mouth or recommendations. As a result, many employees belong to families that have been working in the White House for generations. These are some unusual facts that you never knew about the White House before. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get our more videos.